Hey, Scorpio, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be your timeless reading. Keep in mind, this is for any major Scorpio collective, your sun, your moon, your rising, Venus, Jupiter, or North Node. And so right now I feel there's something that you've neglected that's coming back to haunt you. So what is it that you've neglected that's coming back to haunt you? Because I felt this overwhelming stress, anxiety. I do feel you might be having a hard time sleeping at nighttime. I just feel you're struggling with an issue that is coming back to haunt you. And maybe it feels annoying at times, but you cannot keep running and escaping from your troubles and your problems. And so respect was loud. Respect is the basis of all good relationships and friendships. And so have you been rude to somebody? Has somebody been rude to you? But I feel there's something when it comes to a situation, an emotional, harrowing situation here. And I just feel like you keep getting hit, like hit after hit after hit after hit, whether it's jealousy issue or something. But I just feel like you can't neglect things that need to be addressed. So let's jump in with the tarot and let's see what else needs to come through for you, Scorpio. We're going to start off with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck, and let's start with there. We got self-development. We got practice unconditional love. So if you're criticizing others, that could be a reflection of what you need to heal. Maybe somebody's criticizing you because you've got a wound that needs to be addressed and healed. But there's something about recognizing that you got to go back and fix something. There's something very unhealthy here is what it feels like. And so self-development is recognizing what it is that you've neglected to nurture and then start nurturing that. And so I think you're in a portal of getting down to business here because there's something that you've neglected, that you've tried to escape. And we can never escape the laws of karma. So let's get into it, Scorpio. Let's see what else needs to come through for you. If you would like to be a channel member, go and check out the membership side of the channel. I go live every Thursday at noon over on the membership side. If you would like to book a more personal reading, do feel free to check out the webpage. There's a link down below in the description box, and there will be a video card link above if you would like to book in with a personal reading. But the energies really are saying you got to go back. You got to go back to something that has caused you a lot of annoyance because it's coming back to haunt you. And so if you would like to embrace the journey towards fulfillment, Scorpio, you're going to have to take charge here and you're going to have to go back to something. And so this is all about love. Deep, unconditional, healthy love wants you. And so you have been going through some type of healing. There's some deeply embedded pain here when it comes to a past situation that's coming back to haunt you. And I think you've got some type of reservation about advancing towards course correcting. This is what it feels like. And so the only way to redefine your future, Scorpio, is to go down deep into that wound and to face that hurt. It's the only way to heal it. So we get channeling, we get obstruction, we get detachment, and we get liberation. And so there's something here, whether it's an addiction or a restriction, some type of impediment when it comes to moving forward and embracing freedom that needs to be dealt with. And so maybe you've kind of tried to detach from a situation, but it's like this situation has a tight grip, has a tight hold on you. And there's a higher power at work saying, hey, you got to overcome this. You can't run from your problems. The problems are going to go with you wherever you go, Scorpio. And so there's a problem or a challenge or a roadblock here that you do need to overcome in order for you to find an alternative solution. And so I do believe, Scorpio, you are fixed water. The water elements always have the ability to convey messages from spirit. But you got to quiet the mind. I think the mind is struggling right now when it comes to trying to manage a situation. I'm feeling overwhelming impatience here because you are at a major pivot point, and the only way to go towards the deep, unconditional, healthy love that wants you is to open up your heart. So there might be a block here. There might be a need to just have an open, honest conversation with somebody. Honestly and openly express yourself. But I feel there's also the energy of forgiveness that needs to fill your heart. This is about being at a major divine why. You're at a fork in the road. And so maybe there was a past decision that has really substantially impacted you negatively. You could be dealing with somebody that's trying to annoy you at times. But this is there in order to show you where you've tried to escape some type of responsibilities. And so find your strength to speak your truth. This might even require some type of an apology. But there you are, Scorpio. You are transforming your life. There might be a past relationship that has faded away, that is coming back to haunt you, that you need to go back to. This is feeling very extreme, to be honest. But whether you're dealing with a teacher or you are becoming a teacher, there is a major lesson here that needs to reach some type of completion in order for you to shift out of some sort of negative human experience. And so get ready to face a challenge. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so there might be a teacher coming on your path that you will be involved with that will help you evolve. And so sometimes teachers come and they teach us negatively. Not everybody knows that they're a teacher for us. They're not going to just show up and say, hey, I'm your teacher, 555 on the timer. I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to get you good. That's not how it usually works. People subconsciously teach us valuable life lessons during our human experience, and all lessons should be considered a gift. And so I think the energy is saying you need to find your openness and your readiness to receive this lesson, because the teacher is going to appear and you need to be ready to evolve. So you're going to be tested right now. I think you're in a very testing stage. You got to face this challenge head on. You got to go back and face something that's been avoided, that's a block for you really stepping into your greater purpose. And maybe the lesson was all about equal giving and receiving. They're showing me the Six of Pentacles. So let's go a little bit further here with the Hearts Hidden Secret deck. Let's see what else needs to come through for you. Foundation. This might be going back and healing an old family foundation. And so families come in many forms, right? Family isn't always just blood either. I don't know where that's coming from. But I do feel family is important to you. I'm a Taurus, and Taurus is kind of just a pretty little wrapped up package, the opposite energy of Scorpio. And so I'm very versed in Scorpionic energy. And so I know foundation is important to me, and it's just as important to Scorpio, and established family and security. And so maybe you've been off tracks for a while. Maybe it's time to get back on track. And maybe there's been some negative third-party influences here that have been a block. Maybe your peers gave you some poor advice. I do think there's something about going back. What goes around always comes back around. We can't escape that law. And so there's third-party attachments here that I feel have given you some poor advice when it comes to a family foundation. So let's get a few more of these messages out for you, Scorpio. We get releasing, we get lusting. Oh my goodness, what do we got coming through for Scorpio? And that landed right on the love card and the healing the soul's DNA. And so maybe you're coming into the realization like, hey, it's time for me to overcome these cycles of non-committal. You need to let go of a toxic pattern of lusting is what it feels like. And so lust is sexual energy, right? And usually most relationships start in the lower three chakras, like lust, greed. What can this person give me? What can this person do for me? True unconditional love is heart-centered. It's higher chakra-centered. And so there is like a lustful, non-committal sexual energy here that you do need to let go of, that you do need to release. And I'm hearing that Taylor Swift song, and I can't remember the exact title of the song off the top of my head right now, but it's like Thought I Caught Lightning in a Bottle. And so maybe you rush into situations and then you don't know how to let go. You don't know how to move on. You don't know how to walk away. And Scorpio is like Taurus, and you will cling and hold on because you have such fixed, deep emotions. And so what do we got here? Exhaustion. I think this is exhausting, holding on to a non-committal relationship, and it's kind of depleting you. It's draining you. And maybe this has been a long journey and it's time to release this. And so karma's playing out here. There is definitely the energy of something coming back to haunt you. Consequences for some past choices, some past actions. It's cause and effect. And so it's kind of time. The universe is saying it's time to pay back some karmic debt. And I do think it's connected to some type of past family situation or a family situation right now. The energy really is fertile to maybe go back and fix a connection with a soulmate that maybe does have deep love for you. Maybe there is still a connection here that can be saved. It doesn't mean that the two of you got to get back together, but this could be a family situation from the past where maybe you did have a foundation, you went towards a non-committal situation to neglect having to deal with this karma, and third-party influences have really led you astray. And so I think you're going into the depth of the importance and the awareness of true family. Family isn't always blood, and sometimes family doesn't stay together, but it doesn't mean that you still don't have deep love and unity with people, right? And so there is a soulmate connection here from the past where maybe you stonewalled them, you've ghosted them, you've not been speaking to them, and you've been longing and wanting and craving to fix this. And so we get divine feminine. I feel I don't know if it's the feminine that has a mistake to fix, but I do feel there's somebody longing to fix a past misunderstanding with the divine feminine, and somebody's really been hiding how much they've been grieving and in a state of depression over this loss. And so there might be an opportunity to course correct, but you're not going to be able to keep playing the victim. We all can be lost souls at certain parts of the journey. We all can feel misunderstood, and we all have to experience grief and sorrow. That's part of overcoming challenges and walking through the fire. So I think somebody here has thought maybe one day, somewhere, in another time, I can fix this. There is a deep past life pattern here with a divine feminine. There's a repeated pattern. There's a karmic lesson that needs to be fixed, and you're going to feel stuck, tied down, and helpless and trapped in this sinking despair until you go back and fix this. So there's some type of an obsession or an addiction here towards the divine feminine, and there's an emotional storm brewing. So let's get into it with the tarot, Scorpio, and let's see what else needs to come through for you. Oh yeah, there is a deep, deep wound here, a deep inner masculine wound. There you are, and it's like you've not wanted to look at this. You've avoided it. I feel strongly I could be talking to a masculine Scorpio. If I'm not, then maybe you're dealing with a masculine Scorpio. I could be talking to a cross watcher here. But the way I see this on this cut is there's a deep-seated past life wound here when it comes to a repeated pattern. And maybe when you first met this divine feminine, it felt like deja vu, like, hey, I know you from somewhere. And I just feel you've turned your back on doing the deep inner work. And so I feel there's also this King of Cups, that's you, Scorpio energy, wanting to appear honorable and trustworthy. But there's like a lack of trust here. And so somebody might need to seek out a counselor, because somebody here is really walled up and protected their heart. And I do feel it's time to kind of go into the depth of this wound in order to release some type of victim mentality. So let's do 9 cards, Scorpio. Let's see what else needs to come through for you. Messages for Scorpio. But I feel almost like double loyalty here. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. 9 of Cups. Right out the gate. Recent past. 9 of Cups. 3 of Wands in reversed. And the Queen of Wands. I just feel like you jumped into a situation with somebody. Could have been a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, or somebody with prominent fire. And it's like you jumped into a situation. You thought, oh man, this is my wish coming true. This is my wish, my dreams becoming a reality. And maybe it was a really magical time, but there was no planning for the long term. And I do feel like this Queen of Wands, she's brilliant, she's talented, she's magnetic. There's nothing this Queen of Wands upright can't do. She believes in herself. And maybe there was like an underestimating of a cycle here. Yeah, we get the Ace of Swords in reversed. We get the 10 of Cups in reversed. And we get the Sun in reversed. And so I do feel there was this energy of jumping into a situation. You thought this was wish fulfillment. It did not lead to your happily ever after. And it probably led to a lot of dark times and maybe even addictions. And I think there was just this energy of lack of clear communication. When we jump into situations and we don't think things through, because there's a magnetic pull, it usually leads to a karmic challenge. There's a challenge here to overcome, for sure. I do feel maybe it was an unwise choice jumping into a situation. And now there's a need to balance this out. And so I think you're getting a major wake-up call as to what true emotional contentment is. And somebody here might have to go back. Somebody here has really avoided taking responsibility for a situation where they have lacked integrity. And they're not budging here with the 6 of Swords in reverse. It's like, no, I'm going to stay in this lie. I'm going to live in this lie. I'm going to let everybody think that life is good and I'm living the good life. You could be posting all over social media that you're in this amazing relationship when really you're in the dark night of the soul. And the final message is the Emperor. So this is somebody that uses logic, that stands up, that does the right thing. There could also be control issues here. Bottom of the deck, we get the Queen of Coins and we get the Wheel reversed. And so I do feel there is going to be challenges and delays, and there could be a block to abundance until somebody maybe goes back and approaches this Queen of Coins. So we got two feminines here. The Queen of Coins is the most generous, stable, practical, nurturing queen. The Queen of Wands is the most immature queen because she's the first suit in the tarot. And so I do feel maybe in the past, maybe when you were younger, you jumped into this. And now somebody has matured. I do feel there's a need to release a false foundation, and there's a need to get honest if you really want to head towards joy and success. And so what do you need to move on from? I think somebody here just needs to move on from a lie. Somebody here has really spun a web of lies, and they're in a state of major depression and illness. And I feel there's this queen here shining a light on something here. She's got the ability to make anything beautiful. She's grounded. She takes care of her home. She takes care of the kids. She takes care of her family. She probably runs a business. She's got everything going for her. And I feel somebody's stuck on this divine feminine energy. And so there's going to be a lot going on here. And there is a need to go back and to pay off some karmic debt. And it's going to take a lot of strength. It's going to take a leap of faith. Aries energy, because I think right now you might be in a lose-lose situation, and it's time to go back, I think, and take a sensible approach. So what's the Ten of Cups in reverse? Because that's the central energy. Maybe you've been living a lie for the last 10 months in the dark night of the soul, and there's going to be an opportunity to take charge of a situation and accept responsibility here. We get the Page of Swords in reversed. We get the Two of Swords in reversed. And we get the Knight of Wands. And so there's a need to recognize that I do feel something was jumped into. I think there's a lack of communication. I think there's a need to make a decision from the heart. I do feel somebody here keeps pretending there's no problem in a situation that's not bringing emotional fulfillment or contentment. And this is the energy of act now, think later. I do feel there's something about blocked communication or almost like a blocked energy here when it comes to no words or stonewalling somebody. But this Knight of Wands has to rush in and create some type of balance. And so this is about coming from a position of integrity. And if you do, it will always be win-win. So look at that. We got two of these Knights in reversed, and we got the Knight of Pentacles upright. So there's that divine feminine energy that I felt. And so I do feel in the past somebody was not loyal and dedicated to this divine feminine, and maybe they made a poor decision and they were driven to go in the wrong direction, and there's going to be a shakeup. There's going to be an event. There might be an unexpected arrival when it comes to an apology, and I feel somebody's waited a long time for this. But I just want to say there really is no chance at reconciliation here. This is just about reviewing forgiveness and doing in your heart of hearts what it is that you know you need to do here. So there's somebody here taking charge of a situation, getting clarity. You want to go in that new direction. You want to get yourself untrapped. You're going to have to course correct and go back to a bad judgment call and maybe even apologize. So let's get a closing message here for you. I'm going to use the Crystal Stone deck today. What is the closing message here for Scorpio today? What does Scorpio need to know the most about this? Could be dealing with a Libra. Could be dealing with the Aries, Leo, Sag. You could be dealing with an Aries, an Aquarius, a Taurus, a Libra. But we get Tiger's Eye. And I just heard, I've got the eye of the tiger. So this is about balancing your life. And so I do think you're overthinking. You might be grappling with a lot of mood swings. You could be dealing with a Gemini. You could be dealing with a Virgo. But it's like you are stone cold on the surface. Stone cold. And so it's like you're saying a prayer. You're saying a Hail Mary. You're asking the universe to please help you with this situation. And so you need to remember sometimes your friends aren't really your friends. You might be dealing with some enemies disguised as friends here, trying to bring you down the wrong path. But there's something about equanimity here. And so I think you're kind of aligning the right and the left side of the brain. And this really is about squaring it up with the universe. So there's karma here, there's consequences, and there's cause and effect. And so I think maybe you've used being a workaholic as a way to avoid dealing with this past haunting. But this is really disturbing, I feel, and you're going to have to deal with it if you really want to let go of all of the drama. And so if you want that new cycle to begin, you're going to have to release the drama. This is about healing your heart. So that's kind of what I got for you, Scorpio. I really hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below, guys. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.